Alright, welcome back. Don Cherry over here.
Yes, why thank you, Ron. Even though I'm still wearing my bland
You're not
white
wearing tie-dye or
t-shirt.
stripes, plaid, I don't know what it is. It's a combination of all of them, really.
Yes, you never know what Don Cherry is going to wear.
Or say. With the ticking time bomb.
Of course.
He's getting senile.
Of course, when Boston played Detroit and he was saying, oh, looks like Boston's going to win the series, that's good, I was like, no, Don, no.
He doesn't like the European players, so, you know, Detroit has a lot of those, so. It's just true. He doesn't like those lazy Russians.
Yeah.
Ovi, Semin. Those are the two main ones he always complains about.
Yeah, and we know why, we could kind of understand why the second one.
Who, Semin? Or Ovechkin?
Well, you already said it.
What?
You don't get it.
I don't get it. Oh, yeah.
Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
It's a play on words. It's funny. Laugh.
I'm not sure John Cherry would say that on TV, but...
He said John. John Cherry.
Don, well, still.
Could you imagine if he had a son named John Cherry? It's like exactly the same way. Dresses the same and everything.
Yeah.
Alright, now I gotta wrap this up.
Yeah, I've actually seen skits of John Cherry's stuff back in the 80s. He was sitting on the other side, and he didn't have his white hair. He had,
yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, Stanley Cup Finals.
I still don't know who I'm gonna pick yet. To be completely honest, because it's like...
Flip a coin, because we're picking right
really
now.
Good.
Kings against the Rangers. I will say I was pulling hard for the Kings this last series, and we both know why, because they played the Chicago Blackhawks.
Yeah.
And we don't in Wings territory. Sorry, Don.
Yeah.
We don't like the Hawks.
No, we don't like them at all. Never have. I mean, I remember 2009, we considered them like little brother, and now they go on to win 2 cups, and they're still better than us, and they probably still will be.
Joel Quenneville will be like, 2 cups.
You know, and I saw a stat overlay last night. It said he had like 99 career playoff wins as a coach, which is pretty ridiculous when you think about it, because it takes 16 to win a cup. Mm-hmm. He's got 99, which is pretty crazy, but he didn't get 100.
You know, if I grow a mustache,
That's
and I got about 50 years older, would I look like Joel Quenneville?
I think so, yeah. You're not as short of words as Joel Quenneville, but, you know, you might
The first thing I thought when I saw Joel Quenneville, I was like, my God, that might be me in like 30 years.
As long as I'm not Michelle Tyrion, I think I'll be happy.
And apparently that's what Nick thought,
no, as long as I'm not Daryl Sutter, I'll be happy, because he kind of looks like a Muppet.
But honestly, if you saw Joel Quenneville, you thought, my God, that's Tom Greene in like 25 years.
Yeah, I can see the resemblance a little bit. Definitely.
Are you going to get the side facial?
Gotta get my good side.
Yeah. Anyway, Kings Rangers, Daryl Sutter, who
I finally decided who I'm going to pick.
There we go.
I finally decided.
We talked enough to talk him into picking one team or the other.
I picked one, yeah.
Of course, the loser of this series is Torts.
Yes.
Because that's the first thing, that's actually the first thing I thought once the Rangers won is like, my God.
1 year removed.
Wow, my God, they made the right thing by getting rid of Torts.
And the funny thing is, the day they made the finals was the day that Vancouver fired them.
When New York fired him.
Yep. No, when Vancouver fired him.
Oh, when Vancouver fired him.
Vancouver fired him, that was the same, no, yeah. They fired him this year. Torts is out.
I know.
Yeah.
They fired him. I think
they fired him the same day the Rangers made the finals.
I read this. So. I read this on Fox Sports Live a year ago. That day, the Rangers got rid of Torts.
Yeah.
Yes, Vancouver did get rid of Torts. I read that.
Yeah.
The year before, New York got rid of Torts. The same day next year they make the finals.
Yeah.
I remember reading this.
It's all a paradox.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, like we said in the other video, the Rangers, who we thought, are they in the playoffs even?
Yeah.
Well, yes, they are.
Yeah,
they're in the finals.
Alive and kicking, that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Led by St. Louis, really. That's kind of been the surprise. Usually trade deadline moves don't really translate into guys going off in the playoffs, but St. Louis has been a lifesaver for them, really. Same as Marian Gaborik.
And if you read my Twitter, the second thing I tweeted after they won, the first thing I tweeted was Torts. The next thing I said was, I think the great play of St. Louis, the St. Louis trade basically catapulted them
Yeah,
where they
usually
are now.
this doesn't happen. Usually these rental guys, they don't really produce in the playoffs. But, you know, you got Gabrick, you got, you know, like you said, St. Louis, you got Vanek, who was also very good for Montreal. I mean, you might see a spike in these kind of rental kind of moves, you know, in the future. Matt Molson for Minnesota.
Yeah.
Oh, he wasn't. Was he a rental move? I don't remember that one too much, but yeah, he was good in the playoffs too. Anyways,
I mean,
I'm going off on a tangent.
I mean, if because he's Minnesota, you would think you would think that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he actually got an extension. So
Multi-year contract extension. You see all the play on words. Don, I'm not sure if Don would do that, but anyway, get to our Stanley Cup final picks. I really haven't made a pick yet. Let's go with Nick's pick.
I'm picking LA. I don't know how many games yet, but I'm going to pick LA because, you know, I look at their team from top to bottom. I said at the beginning of the playoffs that they're made for the playoffs. They're just built.
Yes, you did.
They're built
Remember
to
that.
succeed for the playoffs. Top to bottom, I mean, when you got guys like Mike Richards on the third line, you know, and you got guys like Toffoli, Pearson, you know, chipping in for offense, you don't even have to have guys like Jeff Carter or Anze Kopitar. Kopitar didn't really contribute that much later on in the series. So, I mean, you got all these depth guys chipping in on offense. I just think their depth will be too much. I mean, Lundqvist has been amazing, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold up.
I mean, heck, he stops rhinos. Like you've
In
seen
the
on the
Advil
Advil commercial. He
Nice.
stops a rhino, so.
That's true.
You know, when I was watching Game 2 of Kings-Hawks,
Yes.
when they went out for 5 goals in the third, I believe,
That was such a fun game to watch.
my thought when I watched that, in front of excitement was, yeah,
I almost
thanks for
caught
the
it.
save.
I almost caught it.
I think LA is going to win this thing.
Yep. Oh, man. Picking the same teams. That's not really like us. We're usually kind of somewhat opposite in a way.
I thought about it, and I think I'm going to pick this. I'm going to pick the same team as Nick. I'm going to go Kings.
Do you have how many games you're going to pick yet?
I'm going to write this down. I'm saying this goes to another Game 7.
I say 6. I think it'll be done in 6.
I thought about 6 and then I put 7 because it was Kings at home.
The main reason I didn't pick New York is because I don't think their star players can really take over a game the way LA's can. St. Louis is pretty clutch, you know, but I think of guys like, you know, you got Brad Richards, who's good, doesn't really take over a game. Rick Nash, who hasn't been good really at all. You know, you look down the list, their depth guys don't really score. You got like Kreider, Miller, you know, Hagelin is good shorthanded. You know, I just don't think their depth can keep up with LA's depth. I just don't. Defensively, I think they're pretty close. You know, McDonough's not that far below Drew Doughty, but there's not a defenseman I would take in the league right now over Drew Doughty.
I don't doubty that.
Here we go again. Here we go. But yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to hang with LA.
Yeah. Let's see here. Once the Kings won, it was like, King me! King me!
I was so happy. I think everybody within a half-mile radius could hear me when Toffoli tipped that puck that Martinez shot and scored. I'm like, yes.
I was literally jumping up and down. It was like, yes! Yes! Yes!
You know, and my first thought was, when that game ended, I'm like, are they really dead? Like, I thought of like a Terminator movie, like when the T-1000 goes down, it's like, is it really dead?
Yeah.
Is Chicago really down?
And then we could hear the music playing from the United Center organ. It
went dead quiet. I was so surprised. I'm like, wow, I didn't think it was going to go that quiet when they scored, but wow.
It's one thing's for sure, and I read a tweet about it. You wouldn't have wanted to be a Chicago cab driver after that game.
Is that a play on Patrick Kane's thing where he punched a cab driver for over 10 cents? Have you heard about that?
I actually haven't. This was a tweet from Condescending Torch.
I think that's what he's talking about.
So there's also a play on words. But still, even in all seriousness, you wouldn't want to be a Chicago taxi driver after that.
After when they lose, so.
I've actually never been in a Detroit cab.
I haven't either. I don't plan on it because I'm sure they smell funny. They seem like kind of shady folks. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to ride with that guy. I'm skeptical. Not going to happen.
But anyway, we both, surprisingly, picked the Kings to win in 7. we might as well sign our endorsement papers to that.
You know, and another thing that kind of made me almost want to pick New York has been Jonathan Quick hasn't really been very good at all. He really hasn't. It seems like he either lets in 1 goal or 4 or 5. You know what I mean? I'll sign them.
You're going to say sign the endorsement paper for Los Angeles.
Yeah, I'm going to pick LA in 6.
We have his official documentation here.
There we go.
And here it is. Can you read it there? Yes, you can.
There we go. Like I said, if I'm building a team right now, if I'm starting a team from scratch, there is not a defenseman I would pick over Drew Doughty. PK Subban would be a close second because those two can just completely take over a game. But, you know, at the same time, you look at someone who's steady, like a Ryan Suter or a Shea Weber, you know, they're a safe pick. But I like the explosive players like Drew Doughty and PK Subban.
Subban looks like somebody you would think lives in Montreal.
Oh, yeah.
He's
actually a really nice dude off the ice.
Yeah.
He does a lot of cool things. But on the ice, like you hate him. You know, if your team's playing him, he's kind of an asshole.
if you're not rooting for him.
He embellishes a lot. I don't like that about his game, but
it's like he's that big guy on the court and he can just score.
Oh yeah.
Because he scored what was it, the one
amazing slap shot. He's
slap shot to beat Boston in overtime, I think, one game.
Yeah. Yep. He always showboats to the crowd a little bit too. He's really fun to watch. I wish we had PK Subban. We should offer sheet him this offseason because apparently he's a restricted free agent. So if you want to get Montreal to hate you, sign PK Subban to about a 6-year, $9 million a year contract. We can afford it. I don't know if they can or not. But
you got this, Red Wings?
Dude, that'd be such a huge contract. I don't know if it's worth $9 million a year. I mean, that's Sidney Crosby money right there.
Yeah.
You gotta figure because I think Patrick Kane and Jonathan Toews are also both restricted free agents this year, and they're gonna get paid a lot of money. Like probably
wherever they go, probably they're.
No, they'll still stay in Chicago.
They'll most likely stay.
Yeah,
but
probably 8.5, 9 million a year, which is absolutely ridiculous.
So
Crosby's like, they're gonna make more than I am, and he's the best player in the game. So it's like I can probably see his angle on it.
So if you're a Hawks fan and you went to a game last year, you better have enjoyed it.
There's talks that they might look to move Marian Hossa, and I wouldn't blame him because he only had 2 goals these playoffs. Somebody probably might have to go for Chicago, and Hossa would probably be the odd man out if that happens.
Detroit, Hossa?
Oh, I hope not.
Oh, not.
I hope not. No, he's just. I don't know. I watched him this playoffs. He remind me of Rick Nash. You know, they get paid. You know, they do great in the regular season, then they just kind of fade away in the playoffs. He had 14 assists though, but I don't know where those came from. Probably secondary assists from Kane doing his magic and Toews doing his thing, Captain Intangibles. So
yeah. So we both picked the Kings in 6 and 7. We both endorsed it.
Oh yeah.
And that's our show for this time.
Yes.
It's been a pleasure, Nick.
Yes.
Toast to hockey.
Boom for hockey.
And we'll see you next time on the NHL Coach's Corner.
Yes.
With Tom Greene.
And Nick Gosen. Yes.
And Nick Gosen.
Thunder. I understood that.